This time around on Author's Corner, Matt Mulligan joins us. His book title is so cool, Tomatoes and Peppers, a metaphorical tale for anyone who cares about kids. Matt, thanks for hanging with us here on, again, The Corner.
You're very welcome. And I'm sitting here on the floor in my living room because this is where I usually meet clients for therapy and coaching, because so much is done virtually. So it's my spot.
We like your spot. It makes complete sense to me. So that you're comfortable, and we're talking about the book and the reasons you wrote the book. And let's start there. What made you write this book?
The book came together when many things converged while I was driving to my internship for my graduate degree many years ago, and the idea popped into my head. Tomatoes need lots of support as they grow, and peppers, because of the kind of plant peppers are, they need less support, and they grow through the season, and we value them, and we don't label the tomato as different because it needs more support. And that's where the idea sprouted, if you forgive the pun.
I like puns, so I'm really, really good with that. When someone pops open the book, what will they find? What will they learn?
That everybody has differences. Everybody has challenges. And so often in the world in which we live, when we think about challenges, when we think about problems, when we think about differences, we think about fixing. And I think the essential question needs to change from that idea to a simpler one. How can we help? Because that involves the individual who is going through whatever they're going through.
Yeah. And that's why, again, we go back to the title of your book, why you named it what you did. And what kind of things are you seeing? What are people struggling with?
In general, I see a lot of people apologizing for who they are, apologizing for the way they move through the world, people focused on trying to control or fix things outside themselves. All our power, all our agency exists in us. And, our ability to control things really ends at the end of our nose.
Ooh, well said. When you get your graduate degree and then you go into this field, how rewarding has it been for you?
Oh, it is the key that fit in the lock. It is coaching and therapy allows me to bring my genuine self, everything that makes me different, every challenge that I have endured, every challenge I've learned from, every challenge that's helped me grow. I get to bring that into the moment with coaching and therapy clients and help them understand the thing that it's taken me a lifetime to understand, that everything about me that's strong and capable rests in that which makes me different.
And let's talk about that. You were born prematurely. You dealt with a whole bunch of things when you were so young. And then it wasn't until later that you found out you had a learning disability. And in a way, that had to be a relief.
Oh, it was a relief because I got accommodations in graduate school and I got a graduate degree. And accommodations were simple. It was about more time, and it was about learning to make lists and create outlines, because the way my brain works, anything that resembles a jigsaw puzzle, it freezes up. So I need a plan. And so, that's what those simple directives helped me achieve, and it helped me understand that, people who didn't understand me and I couldn't explain myself, the brain goes to pretty simple explanations, and that can be, oh, Matt needs to work harder. Matt can be lazy. Matt, Matt, just why can't you learn this? And those were messages that were, spread across my life. And in part, it was because I was born in the early 70s and we still had leaded gas and thought it was okay. And, there were lots of things we couldn't know. And, but my mother was extremely brave with this baby with hydrocephalus, and she was my rock. And I can't imagine, thinking back, the level of her own anxiety, dealing with a child who had these challenges and had to go in for surgery, but she was always there.
And so once you know you have a learning disability, does that help you reprogram your brain not to beat yourself up and blame yourself for, oh, Matt, why'd you do this? Oh, why did this happen? Oh, you're lazy. Does that help you understand that?
I am a work in progress. I have gotten much better. And in part, that improvement has come. I've gotten involved with an organization called All Brains Belong, and I'm now their board chair. And we work in the community with people who identify as promoting community. I've been able to see my experiences reflected back at me by people who I don't know. And it's a key part of understanding that, I am part of a greater world. We all are.
Well, isn't that true? And again, tomatoes and peppers, and that's what it's about. You explore the relationship, especially between children with the differences of all types. And it's so hard for kids, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is, because when I'm working with people, or just in general, because I remember my parents couldn't understand it, the world around me couldn't understand it, and I couldn't explain it. And so when I tell parents, I said, if something is going on with your kid that you can't understand and they can't explain, find a third party who will help you. Help both of them. Yeah.
And you've probably seen, because now how long have you done this? How long have you been able to counsel and talk with kids?
I graduated with my degree in 2017. And so I've been working since then. And again, it is work that connects me to who I am, and the value that rests in the different perspective that I can bring.
Yeah.
And that's...
Go ahead. And bringing that perspective, of course, is your uniqueness and your gift.
Yes. And the way my brain works, because my learning disability doesn't have a label. It's non-specific. So my divergence is divergent. And it's a product of, the 19 neurosurgeries I've had, probably in combination with the 30 total surgeries that I've had. I don't know. We can't explain it, but, my brain is the way that it is. And so I like to bring what I know and how I know it to challenges and problems, and help people and organizations move through them in ways that might be unexpected.
Yeah. We're not going to give everybody everything from the book, which you can get on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, all those great places. Give us just a little snippet of tomatoes and peppers and what we could expect.
I can read you a bit. The book begins. Spring has arrived, and it's time to plant your garden. You go to the nursery and you pick out 2 seedlings, a tomato plant and a pepper plant. You plant them in good soil in a spot that will get lots of sun. You keep a watering can nearby in case they need extra water. You find a trowel to dig up any weeds that may pop up along the way. Then your work is done. Then you remember you need a cage for the tomato plant. Even though it's a seedling, you can place the cage now to give it extra support it needs as it grows.
How did that pop into your head as, wow, metaphorically thinking about it? I mean, it's so unique and different. How did that happen?
Literally, it just did. I take no credit for it. I think our lives as we live them, they are, alchemical, and sometimes things just come together. And we are heavily focused as people on things and the way they should be. The world is driven by social media and our dopamine response and the anticipation. What I want to assure viewers is that outside the frame of this camera, a normal life exists. My suitcase is still over there from a trip I took to Tampa for the hydrocephalus conference. The box from a printer I bought. The idea comes from I guess a lifetime of being neurodivergent and moving through a typical world in an atypical way. And maybe that all came together in a moment where I started to realize that my challenges are not separate from my strength or my ability to be a beneficial member of society. Those things that we hide from. I had somebody called to my attention that I had a GoFundMe up after I came out of my 5 surgeries, and I'd forgotten it even existed. But it's and they're like, "Oh, do you want people to know that story about you?" And I said, "There's nothing in that story to be ashamed of. That's the reality of who I am. And with hydrocephalus, it's not if I'll have another surgery, it's when." And so I said, no, I'm proud of that moment, because that moment, I consider it the strongest of my entire life, where I reached out to friends and asked for help and got to experience them reaching back. And so that those places, those parts of ourselves that we want to hide, to fit in, the older I get, the more I think, let yourself shine exactly who you are. Let that shine. Show it to people and let them know that it's okay for them to be who they are.
Wow, so beautifully said. After seeing this book and getting it out there into the world, does it make you want to do another one?
Yeah, I have, imagine, I have lots of different ideas about things. I spent my time, when I was in my graduate program, I worked as a paraeducator with kids who struggle. And that's another piece of the puzzle, what helped me put this book together. So I have lots of ideas about education policy and how things might change to make things, better for the teachers and the staff and the administrators and the paraeducators. I won't forget the paraeducators who work so hard every day with kids who need so much support, and they deserve it.
Yeah, and I think you're saying this, but what do you hope people walk away with? Kids walk away with? I mean, really, it's a lot of people that could read this book. What do you hope people in general think when they read your book?
I guess that's the thing. Somebody said to me the other day, "Oh, I read your book, and I didn't know I'd learned something until after I'd read it." And the only thing, I want everybody to read my book because it represents an opportunity for a shift in perception. And when we change how we view the world, we can change it. So that's really, it is my story. It is my experience. It's what I've moved through. And again, there's no blame or anything like that. Things were the way they were. My life has continued to improve because of the way I've learned to move through it. We can't choose our circumstances, but we can choose our path.
Oh, perfect place to end this. What a wonderful thought. What a wonderful sentiment. Tomatoes and Peppers, a metaphorical tale for anyone who cares about kids. What a delight to talk to you and have you on Author's Corner. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'd love to be on again if another book comes out of me.
We look forward to it. Thanks, Matt.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.